Hi, I'm Michael and this is Greg, and thanks for joining us in this gravity clip from the Burn Under Full Force series. This is from the cardio workout that we did, and what I want to look at today is very quickly the plyo series. So we started with a weighted ball, and you can use a dumbbell, or if you want to hold a kettlebell, you don't have to have a ball at all. And what we did was very quickly we got into just bilateral squats. Now we were working to a tempo in the class that we did, but if you're not using music, you don't have to. What we just need to do is get you doing your squats first. This is to get you physically aware of what's going on and to get some sort of proprioceptive feedback from the glide board. So as you go down in the squat, try to keep the tailbone low to the board and keep your abs on. We started to fire up by adding the jumps, and the most important thing when you jump is the soft landing. The utilization of the arms here is going to require more control and larger muscle groups to be coordinating as we do this. But what I want you to feel is as you're jumping that your strongest area is your core, and I really want you to fire up the front of the legs. We now ask you to add a little bit of a challenge. The arms stay extended, and as you jump, you bring your knees to the ball. Now, this is the first time that the landing is going to change. You'll find that you will get very heavy. So I want you to figure out how you can land softly while still coordinating, bringing the knees in. This is where we take it up a notch. The cardio element of the workout is starting to build up, and what Greg's going to do now is coordinate his upper body and his lower body to create a tucking action. So he brings the shoulders up, and what you'll see is he'll get the ball, or that weight, to assist his upper body to come forward as he tucks. Again, our aim here is to land softly, still firing up the legs. Now the final challenge in here is the long lever pike. So from the tucking position where we had the upper body engaged, we now do the same thing with long levers for the lower body and the upper body. So here it's a big V movement. You can start low, but as you get more confident, increase the height. And your visual aim here, or the visual markers that you have, are both legs take off and land at the same time, and really big breathing here. So get that air out as you jump. And then we finished that set and we went back to the bilateral squat series just to let the heart rate regulate a little bit, take some more oxygen in and build it up. This is the Burn Under Full Force cardio series. So a couple of things. Number one, we want to use progressions to develop that series of exercises. Number two, the progressions should have an impact on the cardio element. And by that, it means you should be taking in more oxygen so these big muscles have an energy system to fuel them to do the series. And number three, we want to challenge you to be able to coordinate your upper body and your lower body together. Because you're doing it on a supported glide board, you will find that you'll end up focusing more on what your upper body is doing and less on what your lower body is. And I'd love it if you could focus on the lower body being the important muscles that are activating the movement, and your upper body being an accessory. So if the upper body is distracting and you're losing form and technique, focus on just lower body with the bilateral, just doing the regular squats. So if you can start that again. And keep the upper body still. Add the jumps, keep it very focused. Bring in the knees when you're ready. Feel that you can control the knee lift. If you then want, without moving the arms, have a little tuck in. Roll the shoulders up. A little tuck here. And then if you want from there, then straighten the legs on the lift. That'll be the last phase that makes it a little bit more challenging. And as you can see what Greg's done there, he doesn't have to go very high as he pikes, but you'll see that there's a definite visible change in the lever length and in the flexion in the hip. So that's the cardio series just for bilateral squats. If you're feeling brave enough, you could repeat that series again and do it 3 times through. If it's your first time through, do it once and do it with great form. Work through the sets and build up your cardiovascular endurance so that you can feel strong enough to achieve each set successfully.